4 trades in 48 hours. That is what just happened when Major League Pickleball opened trade window number 2 on March 2nd, 2026. And by the time the dust settled, at least 4 premier-level rosters looked completely different. Texas loaded up, Brooklyn reshuffled, Atlanta found its missing piece, and one franchise in Phoenix basically hit the reset button on its entire identity. If you care about who is going to win the MLP championship this year, everything you thought you knew just changed. Let's set the scene. The 2026 MLP season features 20 premier levels ever had. After the draft wrapped up on February 27th, trade window number 2 officially opened on March 2nd, running all the way through July 15th. That means teams have months to keep making moves. But the first wave of trades came fast. 4 deals were announced on March 3rd alone, and a 3-team blockbuster involving the Columbus Sliders dropped just days later. This is not a slow offseason. This is a full-blown arms race. Here is the fact pack, and it starts with the biggest move of the window so far. Trade number 1 sent shockwaves through the league. The Texas Ranchers acquired Dylan Frazier and Matthew Barlow plus cash from the Brooklyn Pickleball team. In return, Brooklyn received Christian Alshon and Luka Mack. Dylan Frazier was the 7th overall pick in the 2026 MLP draft. Brooklyn selected him, and within days, he was already wearing a different jersey. That tells you something about the urgency Texas felt. They wanted a franchise-level talent, and they paid the price to get one. Frazier is one of the most dynamic young players in the sport, and pairing him with a deep Ranchers roster immediately shifts the power balance in the premier level. Trade number 2 kept the Texas pipeline flowing. The Ranchers picked up Lane Sleeth from the California Black Bears, sending Saha Dennehy plus cash considerations back to California. 2 trades That is a team building for a championship run. Plain and simple. Trade number 3 moved Genie Bouchard from the Florida Smash to the Los Angeles Mad Drops. Florida received Paula Rivas Palau and cash in return. Bouchard's name carries weight far beyond pickleball. The former tennis star turned pro pickleballer has been one of the most marketable athletes in the sport, and now she lands in Los Angeles, the biggest media market in the country. For the Mad Drops, this is not just a roster upgrade, it is a brand sponsorship. Trade number 4 brought Jessie Irvine to the Atlanta Bouncers. Phoenix Flames sent Irvine out and received Daria Walchak plus cash. The Bouncers called Irvine the final piece of the puzzle, and they meant it. Irvine is a proven competitor with deep tournament experience at the PPA and APP level. Atlanta is building a roster that can make a legitimate title push, and this move signals they believe they are one piece away from contention. Meanwhile, Phoenix continues its complete teardown. The Flames have now parted ways with their entire 2025 roster after missing the playoffs. Every single player from last year is gone. That is a rebuild from the ground up. But the action did not stop there. Brooklyn also picked up Chris Haworth in a separate move, and the California Black Bears received Luka Mack and cash. Then, on March 14th, a 3-team blockbuster was announced. The Columbus Sliders acquired Alex Trung from the Miami Pickleball Club in a deal that also involved multiple assets changing hands. And reports surfaced of another trade between the Chicago Slice and the Atlanta Bouncers. The window is still open, and the moves keep coming. So why does all of this matter? Let's break it down through 3 lenses. First, the tour and league impact. These trades are reshaping the competitive landscape of the entire premier level. When you look at what Texas has done, acquiring Frazier, Barlow, and Sleeth in a single window, you are looking at a team that is not just trying to compete, they are trying to dominate. The Ranchers now have one of the deepest talent pools in the league, and every team in their bracket should be nervous. On the flip side, Brooklyn made a calculated bet. They gave up their 7th overall draft pick almost immediately, betting that Alshon and Mack plus financial flexibility would serve them better long-term. That is a franchise thinking 2 or 3 seasons ahead, not just about this year. Meanwhile, Phoenix's total roster teardown means they are essentially a brand new team. The Flames missed the playoffs in 2025, and instead of making incremental changes, they blew it all up. That kind of move either looks brilliant in hindsight or disastrous. There is no middle ground. Second, player and team economics. The cash considerations attached to nearly every trade tell an important story. MLP is becoming a league where financial resources matter as much as talent evaluation. Texas was willing to pay a premium for Frazier, and that willingness to spend sends a message to every other franchise. The keeper fee structure also plays a role. Reports indicate Christian Alshon's keeper fee sits at $265,000, which means Brooklyn is making financial calculations about which players are worth locking up long-term and which ones are better flipped for assets. This is the kind of roster management you see in mature professional sports leagues. Pickleball is getting there faster than anyone expected. And then there is the Bouchard factor. Moving one of the sport's biggest names to Los Angeles is not just about what she does on the court. It is about ticket sales, social media engagement, sponsor activations, and broadcast viewership. The Mad Drops just became one of the most talked about teams in the league without winning a single match yet. Third, the competitive ripple effects. Every trade creates a chain reaction. When Jessie Irvine moves to Atlanta, that changes the matchup dynamics for every team in the Bouncers group. Irvine's doubles experience and her ability to perform under pressure give Atlanta a dimension they did not have before. But it also means Phoenix lost a proven asset and replaced her with Walchuk, who was newly signed to the UPA and still building chemistry with potential partners like Judith Castillo. Phoenix is banking on upside, but upside takes time to develop, and the MLP season does not wait. The Sleeth to Texas move also impacts California. The Black Bears gave up a roster piece and received Dennehy plus cash, which suggests they are either retooling or prioritizing financial flexibility over immediate competitiveness. And the Columbus 3-team deal involving Alex Strong reshuffles the deck for at least 3 franchises simultaneously. When you add it all up, more than half the premier-level teams have been directly affected by trade window number 2, and the window does not close until July. Now let's look at 2 scenarios for how the rest of the season could play out. Scenario A, the arms race continues and the gap widens. If teams like Texas, Atlanta, and LA keep adding talent while others stand pat, we could see a premier level that splits into clear tiers. The top 4 or 5 teams become super teams with stacked rosters, deep benches, and financial backing to make mid-season moves. The bottom tier struggles to compete and starts losing fans and sponsors. This is great for the playoffs because you get elite matchups at the top, but it is terrible for parity. The teams that benefit most are Texas and Atlanta, who have the talent and the momentum. The teams most at risk are Phoenix and any franchise that did not make moves early. Standing still in a window like this is the same as falling behind. Scenario B, the mid-season correction. Maybe the early trades create rosters that look great on paper but struggle with chemistry. Dylan Frazier is an incredible talent, but he has to mesh with new teammates, adapt to a new system, and find his role within the Ranchers' existing dynamic. Genie Bouchard in LA sounds like a headline, but if the on-court results do not follow, it becomes a distraction rather than an asset. Meanwhile, a team like Phoenix, which went full rebuild, might actually find something special by giving young players major minutes with no pressure. The Flames have nothing to lose, and sometimes that freedom produces surprising results. In this scenario, the teams that benefit are the patient rebuilders and the squads that prioritized chemistry over star power. The teams at risk are the big spenders who assumed talent alone would be enough. Here is my prediction. Texas is the team to beat right now. They made the most aggressive moves, they acquired the best individual talent in Frazier, and they showed they are willing to spend to win. But the team I am watching closely is Atlanta. The Bouncers made one surgical move, Jessie Irvine, and called it their final piece. That kind of confidence usually means they have already figured out their lineup combinations and just needed one specific skill set to complete the puzzle. I think Texas and Atlanta will meet in the premier level playoffs, and that matchup will be the defining moment of the 2026 MLP season. But I want to hear from you. Which trade do you think will have the biggest impact on the championship race? Is it Texas landing Dylan Frazier or Atlanta picking up Jessie Irvine? Drop your answer in the comments. A for Texas, B for Atlanta. And if you think another team made the best move this window, name them. Let's debate.